Welcome to The Calm Artist. My name is Ashley and today I want to show you our DIY polymer clay earring kit right here. So when you go to order your kit online, you will actually get a choice of 3 different color palettes to use. And today I'm going to show you how to make earrings with a terracotta palette. So you will get 3 different colors of clay. You have plain white, you get a terracotta color, and you also get a metallic bronze color. Now you're not limited to these colors because you can actually mix them together and create some different colors. So yeah, you will also get an acrylic clay roller. This is just to roll your clay out nice and flat without the clay sticking to it. So this is a lifesaver. Okay, in this little bag over here, you get all your silver earring bits, so the jump rings as well as the shepherd hooks, and you get enough to make 10 pairs of earrings. And you might even have some jump rings left over as spare. Alright, now this is really handy. You get a little leaflet that has a few examples of different types of earrings you can make. You're not limited to this as well, and if you follow the QR code above, it will give you some more design inspiration. And if you flip it over, you get step-by-step instructions on how to actually make your earrings. And in this bag we have all the tools that we need, so let's open it up. Alright, so you will get a sheet of sandpaper. So you use this after you've baked your clay to file down any rough edges. You will also get a bamboo stick to make holes in the clay where the earring bits need to go. See, if you have a drill at home, you don't actually need this. You can just drill holes in it after the clay has been baked. But if you don't have a drill, you need to make little holes while the clay is still wet with this tool. Alright, you will then get 5 different size earring cutters. So they're all circular shape. This is our largest one, and they go all the way down to this tiny one right here. So this is obviously used to cut shapes into your clay, and even though they're circular, you're not actually limited to like circle earrings because there's so much you can do with it. Like you can cut them in half and make like half moons, and you can make little anchor shapes. Seriously, so much. Just keep watching the videos and check out our other content as well for inspiration. Alright, now some other things that you may need. A lot of you will already have this at home, but you will need jewelry pliers or just little pliers like that. If you don't have it, you can just add it on when you buy your kit. It's like an optional extra. Otherwise, you can just pop down to like any local discount store and get them there. I also use a knife, just any nice sharp knife to like cut out shapes, things like that. Alright, let's get started. Let's make a gradient pattern with our terracotta clay. You're going to start by tearing off a piece of the white clay, and you're going to roll it using the acrylic roller provided till it's about 2 to 3 millimeters thick. So this is going to be the base for our earrings. Alright, just leave it aside. We're then going to tear off a piece of our terracotta clay. You don't need too much of it. And you're going to roll it down as well till it's about 2 to 3 millimeters thick. And we want these shapes to be a bit more elongated because we're going to cut them into strips. You're then going to take a small piece of your copper clay and do the exact same thing, rolling it until it's an elongated shape. We then want to make a lighter color, so I'm going to tear off a bit of white and I'm going to mix it with a bit of my copper color. We're just going to mix it together between our fingers until it lightens up. And then you're going to roll it out just as you did with the previous colors. Alright, you're then going to use your knife and you're going to cut some strips. You're going to start with the darkest color, which is the plain terracotta color. And you're just going to cut off those ends so you don't have to waste clay. You're then going to cut off a strip with your copper color. Now I like these to be a bit more of like organic lines at the bottom. They don't have to be perfectly straight. And then you're going to cut off a strip with your lighter color. I'm going to use this longer strip and place it on top, and the colors can overlap a bit. Alright, using your roller, you're just going to flatten everything out. This is just going to get everything to like stick nicely together. Then using your cutters provided, I'm going to use my largest circle cutters. And I'm going to cut out some shapes, and I definitely want to see a bit of white clay on top. In hindsight, I should have made these strips a little bit thinner, that way you can see more white. So you can just play around with it, you can do a few. And there we have my circles. I'm just putting them to the side. Alright, I'm now going to do a little bit of a different design. I'm going to cut some really thin strips and placing it over my clay. I want to do 2 separate earrings, which is why I'm doing 2 strips on opposite ends of the clay. So just cutting thin strips with all of my colors and laying them next to each other, just as we did before. Alright, you're then going to flatten everything out again. And then using your cutters provided, you can cut out some shapes. So I want these strips to be down the side of my earring pieces. And I'm going to do 2 little ones as well. I'm then going to use my little bamboo stick provided, and I'm going to put little holes in my clay where the earring bits need to go. So I push the stick through the clay and just move it around in little circular motions to make the hole a bit bigger. Let's make a giraffe or cobblestone pattern. So the clay I'm using right now is that lighter color, which is the copper mixed with a bit of white. So you're going to tear off a piece and you're going to roll it between your fingers or your hands against the surface, just until you have like a little fat cylinder shape. And you can actually play around with different sizes of these, and it doesn't have to be perfect either. Alright, so I'm going to cut that in half. And you're going to repeat this process with your plain copper as well as your terracotta color. So just rolling it with your hands to make little cylinder shapes. Alright, so you're going to tear off a good piece of that white clay. Make sure that you have enough. I'm just going to soften it between my hands, and then I'm going to roll it out using the roller provided until it's about 2 to 3 millimeters thick. Alright, I'm then going to use my knife and I'm going to cut strips with this color. So what we want to do is we actually want to wrap our different color clay pieces in the white clay. Again, doesn't have to be perfect, you'll see in a second. So cutting off some strips and then wrapping the clay in the white clay. And you're just going to repeat this process until all of your darker clay pieces are wrapped in white. Okay, so I decided to cut these in half because I have enough of them, so those other clay cylinders I'll just keep for later. You're then going to stack the different colors next to each other, forming like a larger cylinder made up of these tinier cylinders. And then you're going to roll it between your hands just to make it a bit more smooth. Again, it doesn't have to be perfect. And I'm going to cut off an edge to show you the inside. So you can already see the shape taking place inside. Alright, leaving that aside for now, we're going to take some more white clay and roll it out to be a flat base. Alright, you're then going to use a knife and you're going to slice off little wheels of your giraffe pattern, of that big cylinder. So you're going to slice these shapes off and you're just going to stick them next to each other on top of the white clay base. Again, make sure they're all similar thickness, but don't worry too much about it because we will flatten it out a bit later. Alright, using your acrylic roller, you're going to lightly roll on top of this, and this is going to flatten everything out and it's going to start to hide any gaps that are between the clay shapes. Beautiful, and there's our pattern. So you can now use your cutters provided and cut out any shape that you would like to make. So I'm going to cut this big circle in half. So I'm going to have two little half circles, or I should say one little half circle for each earring. And then I'm going to have three dangling circles at the bottom of these half circles. And then for the leftover circles, I'm going to cut them in half as well, because I'm going to have three half circles that dangle down from each other for each earring. Alright, we can then use our bamboo stick to make holes in our earrings where the earring bits need to go. So just make sure that they line up nicely so that when you actually attach your jump rings, that you know the little earring pieces will fit next to each other. So yeah, you stick the bamboo stick into the clay and then you circle around a little bit just to make the holes big enough. Again, if you have a drill, you can skip this step and you can just drill holes after you have baked your earring pieces. Alright, now we don't want to waste this leftover clay, so I'm actually going to roll that together, but not too much, just roll it into a little ball, and then we're going to use our acrylic roller to roll it out, and you're going to be left with a really cool sort of marble pattern. It's just a great way of repurposing that clay without wasting it. Then you can use any cutter shapes and cut out the shapes that you would like to make. So with these, I'm actually going to make some large moon shapes that have little circles dangling down like inside of them. So I'll show you in a second. So I'm using my largest circle cutter to cut out big circles and then my smallest cutter to cut out little circles. Moving that clay aside, I'm just going to move these pieces over. I'm going to take like a medium circle shape and I'm going to cut out a half circle out of my main circle to create a moon. And we're going to do the same on the other side. Alright, then taking these little circles, you're going to place them like inside the moon shapes, line them up, and then you can use your bamboo stick to make holes in the earrings. So this is what the earrings are going to look like, all those moon shapes. I think it's really cool. Preheat your oven to 120 degrees to about 130 degrees and bake your clay pieces for about 20 minutes to 30 minutes. Alright, once they're out the oven and completely cooled, you're going to use the sandpaper provided and file down any rough edges. Alright, this is where you're going to need those jewelry pliers. You're going to open up a jump ring. You're going to slide it through the hole in the earring piece. And this is where you can actually join the two different clay pieces together. And then close it back up. And then you need to add one at the top. Sliding it through. Then you're going to pick up a shepherd's hook. Slide it through the wire and close it up again, and there you have an earring. It's as simple as that. Now with the shepherd hooks, for each earring, make sure that they're facing opposite directions. Otherwise both your earrings are going to face the same way. And you're just going to repeat this process for all of your earrings until they're all completed. Alright, so now we're done with making a few of our earrings. Again, you're not limited to what I've shown you. There's so much you can do. Make sure to check out our other videos and content on TikTok and Instagram and Facebook for more design inspiration. And when it comes to your leftover clay, don't throw it away, just keep it in a plastic bag or something, and you can repurpose it. Even if it already has different colors in it, you could just make a nice marble design or anything like that, so you can repurpose it. It does not need to be kept in an airtight container, you just need to keep it in a place where dust won't get to it, but as long as it's not baked, you can definitely use it again. Alright, bye bye.